students, we are going to study the structure of chlorophyll, the role of chlorophyll, and characteristics of chlorophyll as a pigment in a process of photosynthesis. As we have studied for photosynthesis, there are several kinds of pigments present. There can be chlorophyll A, that can be chlorophyll B, that can be carotenoids. Different kinds of pigments are present in a photosynthetic organelles called chloroplast, and these pigments are actually absorbing light, and that absorption of light is resulting into the excitement of chlorophyll, and that results into the synthesis of ATP and resultantly the conversion of solar energy into a chemical energy. What chlorophyll is? Chlorophyll is a photosynthetic pigment. Chlorophyll can be of types. It can be chlorophyll A, which is bluish green in color. As we know, chlorophyll is not only absorbing light, but it reflects also, and when it reflects, it produces colors. Chlorophyll A, which is a necessary pigment, is bluish green in color, and chlorophyll B is a yellowish green pigment in color. We have also mentioned the formulas also. This is the formula of chlorophyll A, and this is the formula of chlorophyll B. And except these A and B, there can be other types of chlorophyll also. Chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, and chlorophyll D. Chlorophyll actually is a pigment that is present in a chloroplast and thylakoid membrane, and chlorophyll absorbs light actually for a process of photosynthesis. And when we say photosynthesis, in a photosynthesis, different pigments absorb light of different wavelengths, as there is different absorption spectrum for different pigments. As per the absorption spectrum, we have also categorized chlorophyll. It has also a specific action spectrum, and we will define these what actually action spectrums or absorption spectrums are. But the chlorophyll can perform its maximum activity at a specific spectrum, to which we term is called action spectrum. And so far the spectrum of chlorophyll is concerned, chlorophyll A, general chlorophyll B also, they absorb light of blue and red wavelength. And these two lights, blue and red lights, are more important for a process of photosynthesis, because of that the chlorophyll activity reached to a maximum. Chlorophyll structurally is made up of two units. It is made up of head and it's made up of tail. This is the structure of chlorophyll. You can say this is the structure of head, which is termed as a porphyrin ring, and this is long tail, which is said to be a phytol. To this we consider as a hydrophilic end of chlorophyll, and this is said to be hydrophobic tail of a chlorophyll structure. And in a head, we say head is a hydrophilic, which is porphyrin, which is composed of several kinds of units that we are going to study in detail in the structure. These units are called pyrrole units, where their center contain magnesium, wherefrom the electrons actually emit, and the process of photosynthesis begins. And the tail is a long phobic tail, and this long hydrophobic tail is regarded as a phytol that we are also going to study in a detail later in the structure of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is actually a pigment that's present in photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 of the thylakoid membrane in a chloroplast. As we have studied, chloroplast actually is a site where photosynthesis would take place, and in a chloroplast within thylakoid membrane, the light reaction of the photosynthesis will take place. And how actually that process will start? Because in thylakoid membrane there are pigments present, and that more important is chlorophyll pigment that's present in thylakoid membrane. And the chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, and carotenoids, they collectively make systems to that we consider photosystems, and these are called photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. What actually photosystem is, we will study them in detail later, but the photosystem actually consists of reaction centers and antenna complexes and primary acceptors. Actually, chlorophyll B and carotenoids, they all act as an antenna complex, and they receive photons and they transfer to one central chlorophyll A molecule, Let's consider chlorophyll A, which is reaction center. Therefore, we say the chlorophyll is present in photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Chlorophyll A makes the reaction center. Because it's present in the center of the reaction of a photosystem where from the reaction will start. Chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B and carotenoids molecules, the rest molecules will also act as carotenoids, and they would be absorbing light, and they would be providing that light to a chlorophyll A, which is present in the center, and the reaction will start. We are going to study these all structures of photosystem 1 and 2 later when I will be dealing with the structure of chloroplast and thylakoid membrane. Before going to start the process, I will be dealing every required character or structure so that we know the basic structures that are involved in the process of photosynthesis, so that we can easily understand the process of photosynthesis. Actually, chlorophyll is present in the leaves mostly, and it develops a masking effect over all other pigments. And generally, you can find out there are pigments present such as chloroplasts, such as carotenoids, xanthophyll, carotenes, and etc. So if we want to separate that whether the other pigments are present in leaf or not, we'll have to go through certain techniques, and one of that technique is called chromatography. And by chromatography, we can separate chlorophyll and we can unmask the effect of chlorophyll, and then we can reveal the presence of the other pigments. And this is a technique that we say chromatography is a technique that can help us separate the other pigments from chlorophyll and to identify what kind of other pigments are present in leaf. So let's study the structure of chlorophyll, how actually it's made about. In order to draw the structure of chlorophyll, we normally draw different steps. As we are least bound to the details of these structures, to some extent we are going to understand what actually chlorophyll is and how its structure is. In order to draw the structure, you will have to draw the 4 open rings. This is one open ring, this is another open ring, this is another open ring, this is another open ring. We draw 4 open rings. And 1, 2, 3 and 4. With these 4 open rings, we add 4 units of pyrrole rings, which are actually 5 carbon containing units. This is one pyrrole ring, this is another pyrrole unit, this is third pyrrole unit, and this is 4th pyrrole units. So the pyrrole ring contains open ring structures and pyrrole units, and especially these pyrrole units on pyrrole number 2. And this, if we have a methyl group, we consider it as an chlorophyll A, and if it's aldehyde group, we consider it as an chlorophyll B. This is just slight difference in the structure of a chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. If it's methyl, it's chlorophyll A, and if it's aldehyde, it's chlorophyll B. In this porphyrin, at the center, see, these all pyrrole units contain nitrogen. See, this has got 4 nitrogens, and these nitrogen are bonded with the central structure of magnesium with the 2 complete and 2 incomplete bonds. This magnesium is a central structure which actually is playing important role to emit the electron and to start the process of photosynthesis. For the further structure, if we draw the further structure, we'll have to add 5th 5 carbon ring also, and this is 5th 5 carbon ring. We'll have to add oxygen here, and then we'll have to add C double bond O and H3 here on this number of carbon. In order to draw the long phytol tail of the chlorophyll, we'll have to consider the 4th pyrrole unit. On this 4th pyrrole unit here, simply you'll have to add 2 CH groups, CH1, CH21 and CH2 another unit. And then we'll have to draw a carbon that is bonded, forming 2 bonds with an oxygen. And then we'll simply have to draw this oxygen. And from this oxygen, we'll have to draw total 15 carbons. Right from this oxygen, we'll have to draw total 15 carbons. And on these carbons, we'll have to attach units. We have to write CH2, and then we have to write C, and with a 1 hydrogen, because in the structure of phytol, this is actually a carbon where double bond is present, and we have to complete the valency of carbon. The C 4 valencies are completed. This is a double bond between these two carbons. And then the story is very simple. Add CH3 methyl group and a hydrogen here. And then this story will keep continuing. Add CH2, CH2, CH2 3 times, and then add methyl group and hydrogen to maintain its 4 valencies. Again add CH2, CH2, CH2 3 units, and add methyl and hydrogen, complete 4 valencies. And again CH2, 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 and finally with the carbon number 15, you will have to add 2 methyl groups. And this would become the structure of a phytol. And this is how we can draw the structure of a chlorophyll. And this is an important structure also as in a pigment as well, because it's present in a thylakoid and it will help in a process of photosynthesis. What are types? What are its characteristics? You will have to remember them, and to this structure also, because being a botanist, I must not be authority in drawing these structures, but I'm trying to explain them so that at least you can have a general overview of the structure of a chlorophyll. So this is chlorophyll. We are going to study the importance and role of light in the next video, and then we'll start the process of photosynthesis. Subscribe my channel, like it, share it, comment also, and keep watching and keep learning with Janil Zahir. Thank you very much.